Hey guys, how's it going? Once again, this is Mike, and a lot has been going on in the past week and a half or so. So we're just going to jump right into it. The first one is from Chicago. 55 shot and 11, some say 12. The report says 11, 12, something like that. Anyway, the big brain trust there in DC and the lefty media want us all thinking this is a bunch of white guys, but I don't think so. Check this out.
55 people were shot over the weekend. Nearly a dozen people died from those shootings.
Judy Wang is live at police headquarters with more. Judy?
Good morning. 11 of those 55 shooting victims were killed. That is from Friday night until early this morning, a weekend when we had unusually warm temperatures. One of the most recent fatal shootings happened in Bronzeville just before 9 last night. Officers responded to a report of shots fired. They found two men in a car, unresponsive, in the 4600 block of South Federal Street. The men, ages 49 and 56, had been shot multiple times. Both were pronounced dead at the University of Chicago Hospital. Another fatal shooting happened in Homan Square at about 7 Sunday evening. Two men were in a car at Flournoy and Lawndale. Someone on the street started shooting, hitting both men who were in the vehicle. The man killed was 25 years old. He had been shot several times in the abdomen. The other victim suffered a graze wound to his shoulder. And the teenage shooting victims over the weekend included 15-year-old Dejon Gator, who was killed in Lawndale. Police say he was standing on a porch at Lexington and Springfield late Friday night. Police say two people approached him and shot Gator in the head. Now, police this morning are still looking for those two gunmen. Violence in the city normally peaks during the summer, and already the number of people shot has already surpassed the number where we were at this time last year. We're outside Chicago Police Headquarters at 35th and Michigan. Judy Wang, WGN News.
White supremacy.
There are new developments in the Fairfield Township mass shooting this past weekend in New Jersey, including the arrest of a second suspect. Action News reporter Bob Brooks is live at the Bridgeton Barracks of the New Jersey State Police. Bob, what is the latest on this?
Well, Jim, the latest suspect is a 30-year-old man from Bridgeton. But first, I want to focus on the latest victim. We spoke with her family tonight. She was a 19-year-old young woman in the middle of her collegiate career. The latest victim is 19-year-old Braylon Holmes of Millville City. Her family told us tonight she had just returned home for the summer from college in Virginia. She was studying to be a social worker. However, the teen was pronounced clinically deceased by the New Jersey State Police after being shot at the mass shooting in Fairfield Township over the weekend. But she's being kept on life supports for organ donation.
I'm sorry that happened to her. I'm really sorry that happened to her.
Tonight, we also spoke with someone who was at the shooting Saturday, which started off as a birthday celebration. The woman didn't want to show her identity out of fear for her safety.
I'm thinking they were in the woods. That's how it felt. Couldn't see nothing. Everybody was just running, falling, bodies all over. It was just horrible.
The woman also says she was nearly shot, but it struck a woman next to her instead.
I feel like the bullet could have hit me. That's how close she was when she fell in front of me.
In total, 14 people were shot. And yesterday, police identified two of the deceased, 25-year-old Asia Hester and 30-year-old Kevin Elliott, both of Bridgeton. As far as suspects go, police have arrested two men. Just today, police announced the arrest of 30-year-old Daryl Dawkins of Bridgeton. And on Monday, 36-year-old Kevin Dawkins of Bridgeton was arrested as well. According to the affidavit of probable cause, Kevin Dawkins was arrested early Sunday morning, and he was in possession of the same handgun on Saturday, May 22nd, 2021, while at the party. Specifically, witnesses identified him as holding and discharging a handgun at the property. In addition, video surveillance at the property showed him holding this same handgun. Now, Jim, obviously the two suspects have the same last name. It's not clear yet what the relationship to each other is, and at this point still, state police have not released a motive yet for what sparked the mass shooting here. From reporting live, Bob Brooks, Channel 6, Action News. Jim.
Thank you, Bob.
White supremacy is terrorism.
A week ago today, where two or more shooters opened up on this party bus in Oakland, killing two teenagers celebrating a birthday with friends. More than 70 shots were fired into this limo bus. The two biggest unanswered questions: who did it and why did they do this? Tonight, We've learned authorities believe they know the answer to one of those questions. Investigative reporter Jackson Vanderbecken has the apparent motive for that freeway ambush.
Bullets riddled this bus in East Oakland last week, leaving 2 young women dead. City Councilman Noel Gallo says he's still stunned at how brazen the city's street violence has suddenly become.
The targeting, the shootings that are going on are really out of control.
It was just after midnight last Tuesday that this party bus was returning to the East Bay after a 21-year-old's birthday celebration in San Francisco. Dozens of shots rang out, first on 580, then as the bus exited on the Seminary Avenue off-ramp, and finally on a surface street, 68th and Foothill. 19-year-old Alasia Thurston of Oakland and 16-year-old Zoe Hughes from Modesto were killed. There were 2 young men on the bus, and multiple law enforcement sources tell us one of them was the apparent target. The motive? Retaliation for a street shooting just 2 days before at Highland Avenue and East 26th Street in East Oakland that left 2 17-year-old boys dead. Oakland police still have not named the 2 victims, and there's nobody in custody for either shooting.
It's got to stop.
Councilman Gallo says he needs people in the community to start cooperating with police and vice versa to start addressing this cycle of violence that's plaguing Oakland right now.
For us to solve the crime in Oakland, it's going to take all of us to do it. That's the bottom line.
55 people have been killed in Oakland so far this year. That's 1 homicide every 2.5 days. Jackson Vanderbecken, NBC, Bay Area News.
So we have to stop demonizing people and realize the biggest terror threat in this country is white men.
Stop it. Get some help.
Breaking right now at noon, police confirming just a few minutes ago they have made an arrest after an attempted sexual assault in Brickell.
They released this surveillance video earlier this week. Local 10 News reporter Syra Onwar joins us now live.
She has the breaking details on this arrest. Syra.
So, Christy and Janice, this incident happened Tuesday around 7 o'clock in this area of Miami's Brickell neighborhood. Police had someone they were questioning, but now they have officially charged that man. Here he is right now. You're looking at his mugshot. This is 23-year-old Deontay Blackman. That is the person they have now charged in this assault. Some of the numerous charges Deontay Blackman now faces is sexual battery, armed burglary with assault, aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, and kidnapping with a firearm. So Wednesday, police released this surveillance video. A woman, the victim in this crime, got into an elevator with a man who was looking at a cell phone. The victim, who was out for a jog earlier, says she got off on her floor. She says the man followed her. She told Local 10 he then pushed her way into her apartment, beat her, and demanded sex acts. She was able to get into her bedroom and lock the door, then scream for help from her balcony. Surveillance video also shows that same man coming out of the elevator and walking out onto the street. So back out live, police say that man in the video is Deontay Blackman. He faces 4 felony charges, and right now he is in custody. He's behind bars here in Miami-Dade County. That's the latest live from Miami's Brickell neighborhood. Syra Onwar, Local 10 News.
Christine and Alex, what's scary is how blatant these men were, doing this in the middle of the afternoon in front of dozens of witnesses and cameras. The man who they were targeting told me that he saw them walk by and he had this overwhelming feeling that something bad was about to happen. So he says at least he was ready. It happened that fast. On March 4th at about 2 p.m. at El Pastillo restaurant on Cannon and Brighton in Beverly Hills. Investigators say a group of gang members target a man dining in this watch, a $500,000 Richard Mille timepiece. The man wearing it says they put him in a headlock, repeatedly hitting him in the head with the gun.
With the thing cocked and all he had to do is squeeze the trigger right to his temple, he was able to get the gun away from the guy and wrestle him on the floor.
Detectives say the gunman fired twice, hitting this woman at another table in her leg. The 3 thieves took off and into a getaway BMW.
This robbery was the definition of bold and brazen, occurring on one of the busiest intersections in city of Beverly Hills, if not in the county of Los Angeles, with 40 people watching.
With the entire Beverly Hills PD working the case at the start of the investigation,
Beverly Hills Police arrived at the location within 90 seconds.
And with the help of the FBI, they've arrested 3 of the 5 involved: 18-year-old Kai McGee, 30-year-old Marquise Gordon, and 20-year-old Malik Powell, each facing up to 20 years in prison.
From witness interviews to DNA evidence to CCTV surveillance cameras, and they were able to put a case together and identify the subjects.
This last one I'll do for today is just sick. It's beyond twisted. I don't understand it. 18-year-old punk kidnaps a 4-year-old boy right out of his bed. And, well, just check this out.
We now know the identity of the man suspected of killing a Dallas toddler. That man's been identified as 18-year-old Darren Brown. So far, he is only being charged with kidnapping and theft, but investigators say they are anticipating more charges pending the results of a forensic analysis. Now, yesterday morning, 4-year-old little boy found dead in the middle of the street. This is in the Mountain Creek neighborhood in Dallas. Police say that child died in a violent manner, was killed with an edged weapon. The case is being treated as a murder investigation, and of course, when more information is provided by authorities, we will update you on air and online.
Yeah, the actual kidnapping itself was caught on surveillance video inside the kid's bedroom. He was 4 years old, taken out of his bedroom, stabbed to death with a friggin' screwdriver, and left to bleed out in the street. There he is right there. I edited this for time as he just stands there for a minute, for about 5 minutes, just looking at him. But this isn't even the worst part. It gets even stranger. I'll get to that in a second. Look at that, man. Just twisted. He actually goes back, thinking about taking the kid's twin brother. God, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Who knows what he's mumbling about to himself? What I can't believe is that the house was this wide open. Some parents, huh? But yeah, 4-year-old boy taken right out of his bed, stabbed to death. The guy probably raped him and killed him. Sick, man, sick. I guess he was a neighbor or something and probably been watching the kid. Of course, his mother said, you know, the usual shit. He was a good boy and he was set up and all this stuff. Anyway, that's all I got today. I can go on and on for hours, man, because there's just so much content, but we'll post it soon. Next time, we'll be looking at fake hate crimes.